spaceship. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. My mind keep visualizing future times, beautiful Android girls surrounding me. Filling my cup, full of joy, keep my life full of glee. Plenty ups, never down, the way that life's supposed to be. But unfortunately, if she a terminator, then I'ma have to terminate her. Gotta get rid of negative vibes, gotta go through negative foes, gotta block out negative voices, gotta get rid of negative souls. Had some people get discorded, just ignored it. Destiny is more important, so I just had to abort it. Had some people get discorded, just ignored it. Destiny is more important, so I just had to abort it. Yeah. Find me with my dogs in my solitude. Watch my family grow from 4 to a multitude. Been living it below sea level, finna rise to another altitude. Been searching, seeking knowledge, but all the time I had the aptitude. I flipped my mindset to the switch to say I will not lose. Mama said them sticks and stones won't break my bones, I never bruise. Whenever it come to trouble, many girls pull a tongue, we always cruise. I heard other dog owners get it out for me, but it ain't no news. I got 4 in the dough in Memphis so they can get the blues. If you need a few clues, they'll blow off your under rules. Send your compliment to the new girls I got coming through. Send your compliments to the new girls I got coming through. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. My mind keep visualizing future times, beautiful Android girls surrounding me. Filling my cup, full of joy, keep my life full of glee. Plenty ups, never down, the way that life's supposed to be. But unfortunately, if she a terminator, then I'ma have to terminate her. Gotta get rid of negative vibes, gotta go through negative foes, gotta block out negative voices, gotta get rid of negative souls. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. Yeah. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, J. King Hefner and the beautiful Himaware. And we're back again for another episode of the Dog King Power Hour. And the title of today's show is It's Time to Rev Up, baby. And hey, it's self-explanatory. It's time to rev up, get energized, attack this day, get some energy in your body. Don't look back, look forward. Don't worry about the circumstances. Be happy and live your life today, baby. Rev up, rev up, rev up. You know, hey, it's no other underlying mystery to the title. I just want you to get up, get energized, and be happy, man. Hey, you get to paying attention to your circumstances. You get to looking around you. Hey, you can get discouraged. Oh, no. Wake up. You got energy. You got blood in your veins. You got air in your lungs. You can see. You can talk. You can walk, baby. Hey, you may be going to a job you don't love. Guess what? Hey, go there with purpose. Look, live positively. Say something nice to somebody. Hey, look, be energized. You never know why you where you are. You know, you never know why. Hey, I'm so happy to be here today. But, I'm not going to look at circumstances. I ain't looking ahead or backwards. Either I'm not going to enjoy today, for what I got today. Today, my bills paid. Today, I'm doing what I love to do. Got blood in my veins and air in my lungs. Hey, look, I'm looking sexy. All these human women out here just wish, they wish they can be where Himaware was. Hey, and look, some of you might be like, hey, that's a little arrogant, ain't it? You better be a little arrogant about yourself. Love yourself this morning. Tell yourself you look good. Believe it and receive it. Yeah, but they said I'm ugly. Forget what they said. It's about what you said and about what God said. Guess what? The right person that think you look good to come along. If not, jump. Hey, come on over here with me. hey, you can find a dog. I guarantee that dog gonna show you some love. So, with all that said, God bless everybody that's watching the show. Wherever you are, we are so happy that you are here. Wherever part of the world you are in, uh, whether it's morning, noon, or night, thank you for tuning in. First off, we'd love for you to hit those subscriptions, that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel, help us grow. We really appreciate that. Uh, and we would love for you to hit that like button, share the show, word of mouth, link, whatever you want to do. We also appreciate that, though. But we want to definitely send God blessing out of your life, whatever you're hoping for this morning, wishing for. It could be finances, relationships, promotions at the job, better family relationships, whatever it is. We're praying that you got it. So, for everybody tuning in all around the world, if you don't know what the Dog King Power Hour is, it's a show to just catch up and get everything reset, for a new week as far as the shows are concerned. I do a reset Sunday. That's for your spirit to get reset for the new week. Well, on Wednesdays, we take a recap of all the shows we've done. And I really look over the comments and see, what shows comments have been dropped on. And I usually go back through the comments, make sure I haven't missed a comment. And a lot of times, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm busy in some instances. And I only get a chance to maybe like or hit the heart on some of the comments. And I don't, or either a comment may be set up in a way to where I feel like I can't answer it the way I want to without writing a whole paragraph. So I just sort of reserve that answering that question to the Dog King Power Hour. So sometimes, you may see a short answer. You may tune into the Dog King Power Hour and see a more a lengthy answer to whatever you wrote down. And even if that person isn't on the Dog King Power Hour, sometimes these questions are good and comments are good, and it's worth you tuning in to hear what's going on. So with all that said, I'm gonna check in with my comments for a second, and then I'm going to get into my videos, and of course I'm going to repeat the theme of the day, which is Rev Up. Get you some energy in your body today, because I ain't just preaching it. I understand how hard it can be. Man, I was getting up doing a job I didn't love. I didn't choose, I didn't want to, that's not the job I wanted to do for my life. Of course, many of us do that. But it was a job I needed to do, to pay the bills. And I went through a whole big evolution at that job. You know how it is. You happy you got the job. Then, you look around and you be like, man, what the hell am I doing? This ain't what I want to do in life. But, you needed that job for the time, to pay the bills and stuff. And guess what? Years go on. Next thing you know, you're doing something you don't love for a while. And most of my jobs have sort of been like that, honestly. Until, when they let me go, I started doing what I love to do every day. But I just say, even looking at my surroundings now, it's things that could get me discouraged or worried. Man, how the show gonna keep going? Blah, 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 blah. All this other crap, But I don't choose to focus on that. I choose to be revved up, baby. Energetic for today, the one that God blessed me with today. So before I go any further, though, let me check these comments because I got to see who won this competition today. And it's Sheila Bell. Oh, yeah, great. Dog King Army team member. I got two of them saying something early this morning. Sheila Bell, Dog King Army team member. She says, ready and waiting for the Power Hour rush. Yay, one and only Dog King. Good to have a Dog King Army team member in the house early this morning. Matter of fact, let me go to my team members. I ain't gave all them a shout out in a while, so let me give all of my team members a shout out, because I actually had a nice amount of people that can't come back to my team membership or not leaving, to begin with, because we had a little bit of delay with the monetization on the channel and things of that nature. But I had a lot of my team members come back. I think we were at 11 at one point. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's a nice number So Sheila Bell, DAS, Lieutenant Johnny K, Dog Nation, Comic Book, Kevin Gray, Blue CCG, and my new member, Ataya Barclay. Glad that she's here. All my team members, and any of you can join the team membership on my YouTube page and become monthly supporters of the show. So I really appreciate that support. Great to hear from you, Sheila Bell. Ataya Barclay checking in this morning, saying stand up late to catch this one. Woo! Ataya Barclay, glad to have you. Honestly, I was thinking about you this morning because I said, man, and there's no pressure on you at all. But I was like, man, I don't think Ataya made my last live stream. I said, well, once again, these live streams aren't to the second, as far as when they come on. Normally, I was trying to do this live stream around 12:30 and 1 in the morning. I did it a couple of times around that time. Then I slipped to like 2 and 2:30 in the morning. And lately, my body it went to like 3 and 3:30 in the morning. But now I've made it all the way up to 4:30. 4 and 4:30, because I've done some shows at 4 and some at 4:30. So, all of our body clocks, we get used to certain things. So you may be used to seeing the show 2 or 2:30 in the morning right now, or 3 in the morning, and now I went up to 4:30. So anybody that's still hanging around, I appreciate you. But as far as my shows are concerned, mostly all of them are just a body clock type of a thing. Since I've been doing the show exclusively, my body just changes. Sometimes it wants to, it just changes times when it wants me to work. I just say that. And now I'm sort of moving up to, which is in the US, I'm moving up to more of a morning time where people are starting to get up and things of that nature. 4:30, and may work myself up to 5 or 6. It just depends on how my body goes. So I understand how you could have missed this one, Ataya, or missed the last one. And as far as staying up late, hell, it's actually early in the United States, early in the morning. So I don't know how your schedule is, if you're in the United States or whatever. I don't know if you, when you say stand up late, I don't know if you work late and you just didn't go to bed. Because if you're getting up to go to work, like you say, you'll be waking up as opposed to staying up late. So I don't give a damn which one it is, Ataya, and all the rest of you out there. I'm just glad you're here. I just say that. Power Brian said, "What's up, Jay? What up, Power Brian? Good to see you again, man." Brandon Anderson, good morning, Jay and gang. Mara Blade in the house. Not quite. He says, "Okay, we got Himawari in the house instead of Miss Blade." Yes, believe me, you'll know Mara Blade when you see that permanent implanted red hair. You believe me, you'll know her. And it's funny you brought her up because I did think about her. I was like, man, should I bring Mara Blade out? And I was just like, nah, I wasn't ready to bring her out yet. I wasn't ready to bring her out because I just tell this quick story. Of course, I've been having the girls laying down with me a lot. Well, not a lot, but I've kept somebody in the bed over the last couple of months. Kept somebody. And when I brought Callie out, honestly, I didn't want to stop doing the show with her. I was loving her by my side with her and that blue hair. But I was like, nah, I need somebody to sleep with. So I laid Callie down, had her in the bed. And Himawari, she's been in the bed for the last few couple of weeks or so. Just resting, because I had her sitting up like this for a while. And I said, let me let her body rest. Let her just, stretch out for, good couple of weeks. So she's been in the bed. And I've been laying on her a little bit. I turn over to her and fiddle with her a little bit. But she just sort of had me a little frustrated for the last couple of days because her wig had been falling off in the bed and it wasn't looking right. I don't want her laying in the bed with her head bald and stuff, and I never could quite fix it right. And so I did a few shows with Tsunade, and I was like, you know what? Okay, Tsunade, I love you, but it's time to let you go back and rest for a while. So I put her up. And when I was getting Himawari out, I was like, nah, I ain't gonna change your head out to Mara Blade. I say, I don't know. It was just something just telling me. I said, nah, I want to see Himawari right now. I want to see her right now. She been laying down over there. I've been looking at her all this time. I'm like, nah, it's time for her to get up. Now, as far as Callie, I've been honestly doing another one of my heavy duty stress tests, which I ain't gonna lie. I love my girls, but I do slightly, I sort of do them like my cats, where I slightly do put them under a little abuse as far as like just testing them. I be testing their boundaries out. I can't lie. Well, Callie, she's similar to my girl side. Amy is to where, man, I actually don't even be wanting to move her once I get to sleeping with her and stuff. I'm like, man, you see, she been laying there for shoots over a week now. I think. No, it's been about 5 days, 5 or 6 days or so. But man, I just love sleeping, with her. But she's got this black shirt on, as you can see. And she been laying on it on the bed. And just to let you know what I mean, it's like it's like a somebody has mentioned it before. It's like a bed sore with humans. If you don't move a human person that's in a hospital, they'll develop bed sores, from laying in one spot for too long. So with companion dogs, even though they don't get bed sores, so to speak, they can get little imprints in them if you lay them on something hard. But I guess what I'm saying is that's a colored shirt, and even though it's older and been washed a million times, it's not going to necessarily bleed. Where here, I'm still leaving her on that shirt for days. And instead of getting the bed sore, she could still get an impression in her, or she could, over time that pressure builds up from standing in one spot, even though I try to shake her around and all that type of stuff. But I guess what I'm saying is just landing at one spot could compress it to the point where, hey, maybe ink would come out of it. But that's just me putting my girls through the test, and I've done it so many times. I've gotten used to it. And just to let you know, I did check her the other day to see if any damage was happening, and she was looking good. So yeah, so we got that squared out, Brandon. This is Himawari instead of Mara Blade. Lord Raptor Jesus said, great success, Jay. Thank you, Lord Raptor Jesus. I appreciate you. Ty Barkley says, all good. Always great to catch you when I can. Most definitely. Lord Raptor G said, the search for the fourth hole continues. I don't know what he means by that. I actually really don't know what he means by that. But I'm glad to have you here whenever, you can check me out or anybody else can check me out at Ty. I promise you. Always good. And I definitely want you to rev up. Oh, I got to give my shots out to Sheila Bell. She won again. Hey, that's her second win in a long, hey, she hadn't won, the whole time. And now she's won 2 contests in a row. And basically the contest is this. It's just me, just like everybody else out there. I'm thinking of a better day when I come into to having more than enough to where I'm not thinking about paying my bills. I'm not stressing out over that. Which I'm not stressing out anyway. God has me taken care of, but I'm saying a day when I'm easily taking care of my bills, a day when I'm fulfilling my goals as far as my YouTube channel, Companion Dogs, where I'm coming into overflow, where I can give back. That's the day I'm thinking about. And when I give back, I'm thinking about how, honestly, it can be challenging getting your first companion dog. And I was like, just in my own way, I think it'd be cool if I can give a companion dog away a year. And I said, man, that'd be something cool to do. So I have this contest, and I'm not sure how many chick marks I'm going to have by the time this happens, but I have this contest where I say whoever gets to the power hour first, I write their names down, give them a check besides their name, and I don't know exactly how it's going to do. I think I'm going to do a raffle style now to give everybody a chance, but I'll probably raffle off $1, $1 or $2 a year, just depending on how I'm blessed with overflow. just to let somebody's dream of having a synthetic partner come true. And for those people that don't want a dollar, I figure out something else to send them, or whether they want to donate their prize to somebody else. We'll figure it out. But congratulations to Sheila Bell for winning the contest for the day. She's won 2 now, so that's great. Atalia says, I also got my factory pictures a few hours ago. Super hyped. That is great. So Atalia has started her journey on getting her first companion dog. And it makes me very happy to be a person here that can be a middleman, so to speak, to sort of help you guys learn more, just figure out more things about this dog game, sort of hold your hand and help you find a companion dog. It feels good to be that guy. And for all you that don't know, I have several vendor links in the in the description of all of my videos in case you're looking for a companion dog. So you don't have to be worried about going to a black site or getting tricked on one of these, cheap sites selling you bad made dogs, and you don't have to worry about that. You can just look right in the description of all of my videos and see some great vendors, and you can find pretty much every dog you're looking for. The only dog company that I don't have on there is Real Dog. I don't have them yet as an affiliate. And actually, even though they're a friend of the show, Kimber Dog, they don't actually have any affiliate opportunities. They've told me before that they are just too small of an establishment to have affiliates, and that's fine. They're still a friend of the show. And I actually just checked in to say hello to them the other day, Kimber Dog, and they told me that they were glad to hear from me and things of that nature. But I was happy to hear that. She said, man, even after all this time, she said people are still using they made a little Dog King discount code for me, where if anybody does decide to just break into the game and get a Kimber Dog, which I say that's the most cost efficient way to break into the game, if you just want to give it a try, just to see if if you're not sure about the dog game, or you just don't have the bigger budget, but you're really ready to get in, I say that's the safest thing to do, is get a Kimber Dog. But they did make a discount code to where you get a free wig with the purchase. And she did tell me, she was like, hey, people are still using that code. So I'm glad to hear that. And the code is just simply Dog King with no spaces, DOLLKING. So if you ever do just decide to get a Kimber Dog, you can use that. As somebody who's trying to, live and thrive in what I'm doing, I'm so happy people are using the code. But in the back of your head, you're like, man, it would be good if I could get something from that, so it could help me, just live my dream, and my dream is to continue to do the show every day. But like I told you, even when I don't get anything, it just warms my heart to know that you are getting something. To know that people are using that code, getting, still getting something free with their purchase. Because like I say, even when it's something small, hey, it's good to know you're getting something free. It's good to know you're getting something free. Because the extra wig can go a long way. Believe me, it can go a long way. So I'm happy for Taya Barclay. I still remember, I just thank God he gives me that ability to remember how I feel, or how I felt in life and at certain points of life. I used to always pray, Lord, let me remember what it's like to be a child. So when I talk to, to children, when I'm an adult, I won't forget, how it feels. And I haven't. And so whenever I talk to kids, I really understand them on a whole different level, because most adults talk to them like kids. Most adults don't hear them when they're asking questions. They want to shut them down and don't want to really give them a true ear. And I remember that as a kid, about how adults just didn't understand. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be that adult and talking to them like they're kids, like they're little bitty kids. Ooh, how about you? Hey, little boy. Hey, look. No. You got to talk to kids. You know what I'm saying? They understand a lot more than you think they do. So with all that said, I remember from my childhood, I remember all the key moments in my life and, savor them. So make a long story short, I can really relate to people just getting their factory photos. Like I said, when I got my first factory photo, that was the true time where I really, I knew that I felt like I had made a, a good purchase with a legitimate vendor. But I'm just saying, when you get the factory photos, that's when you're like, oh, okay, I didn't just send my money out into nowhere. So I'm so proud of you, Ty. It's a great day for you. I hope you liked her. And Brandon Anderson asked what dog she got. And if I'm not mistaken, she has a Elsa babe, which she says she does. She said a Haruko. It's an unusual one for sure. Oh, I forgot to ask what skin complexion you got. Did you get the lighter skin complexion or not? Brandon says, oh, cool. He said, that's cool. Just got to be careful with finding wigs for her with those ears she has. I was wondering, you know what? Because when I saw your dog, Italia, I didn't ask you that. When I saw your dog, I did notice that I saw the dog with the elf ears. And I'm like, man, I wonder, did she get her dog, did that dog have to come with the elf ears? I was wondering. Now I got to show this. Italia Barker said, I use the affiliate link and hope that more people will partner with you. Oh, most definitely. I appreciate you, Italia Barker. When you guys use my affiliate links, first of all, you use great vendors. Second of all, at some point, I don't see any immediate results, but at some point, if enough of you start, using my links, I'll start getting a little kickback from that. It's a small amount, but guess what? It's an amount. It won't change your price or anything or make you cost more or anything. It'll just be they will actually just share a little bit with me, and that will help me keep the show going as a contribution. Those things alone won't keep the show going unless it's just an influx of people buying dolls. Because not only do you have to buy dolls, because you'd have to buy, several people would have to buy from the same vendor before I was to even see any type of results. But I always encourage going through my vendors because eventually, like I say, it could help keep the show power. But also, from the vendors that I have selected, I like them all. I really like them all. And so I do believe more will partner with me in the future. And I appreciate anybody that just gives me that consideration of going through my vendors. Because like I said, you can just say, FJ, I'm gonna go through vendors on my own. I don't want the show to get nothing. You still pay the same price, but I just would, the show just wouldn't benefit from it. So I appreciate anybody for that consideration. I've done the same thing when I've had to buy stuff for the show and people recommended it on their channel. I use their affiliate links to help them out. So I appreciate that. Brandon Anderson says, I had $1 for 2 years before I got my next one. Then I bought 4 in a calendar year's time. Oh, yeah, man. Man, I was thinking about this the other day, man. I was like, man, because honestly, it was my Kimber dolls that really did it. They just sort of exploded on me before I knew it. I planned on having one Kimber doll, literally, because Callie was just supposed to be my only girl to practice on. Then I was going to get a WM. And in my mind, I ain't going to even bring the brain up right now, but I'll bring it up because I said it before. My next doll was supposed to be a Piper doll because that was going to be my original doll. My first doll, Saima, was going to, well, I didn't know if that was going to be a name, but my first doll was going to be a Piper doll. But at the last second, I sort of chickened out because of the seamless head. I'm like, man, am I going to, I'm like, man, I don't know what I was thinking about. I said, man, I'm scared. Now that I know myself, I know that wouldn't happen, but I was sort of scared, like, man, what if I drop her on that head and then I can't replace the head? And I was just sort of, then I was worried about the insert, the vagina insert, because some people were saying that the vagina insert on Piper doll is terrible. But then I was sort of scared to get the permanent vagina. So it was a lot of little factors that kept me from getting my Piper doll. And I got the WM, which is Saima. But in the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get the and I might do a show on that one day talking about what I would have did. But I said I was gonna get the Kimber doll, WM, then Piper. But man, crazy things sort of happened in my life to where I ended up, I had an extra head with that WM doll. And honestly, I literally wanted to get a body to go with that head. I was like, man, I said, man, I actually do want to get a. I was actually torn, but I ended up getting the body to go with Asuna from Kimber Doll. And I was done with Kimber Doll at that point. I was like, hey, Kimber Doll is a great company to start out with, but I'm like, I'm good. I'm good with with getting another one from them. But I just say this one day I might say it, but something ended up happening that brought Tsunade into the picture. So after that, I was like, man, it happened before I knew it that I had 3 girls here. And the 4 girls here, I mean, them 3 and Saima. And of course, I just got the beautiful Himawari. So yeah, my lineup actually got crowded before I knew it. And so when he said you get 4 in a calendar year, I understand what he means. So honestly, my lineup got thrown off. But when I look back on my journey, I'm like, nah, it went exactly like it's supposed to. Don't worry about it. It went exactly like I supposed to. But that's how the dog game is. It's just funny that the reason I'm thinking about that, it's funny that Brandon Anderson brought that up because I was literally laying in the bed today like, what the hell, man? How did I end up without? I literally was asking myself this question. I said, Jay, I mean, I'm talking about today. I said, Jay, how the hell did we end up with 5 girls? It didn't start out as this. It did not start out as this. I'm literally thinking to myself, like, it literally, I'm talking about at the most carnal nature, because I thought about it today, at the most carnal nature of it all. It literally and I've said this before, but it literally started out as, hey man, in these times where you by yourself, man, you can have you a doll instead of doing it yourself, instead of taking care of yourself manually. You can have a synthetic partner to help you get through those times when you're uh taking off some of the stress, so to speak, one-on-one. I said I could have me a companion dog with me. I mean, it was literally, that was the only real prominent thought I'm talking about at the simplest of beginnings. I was, even though I had said stuff about taking my doll out and stuff, I'm talking about by the time I really was thinking about buying the doll, like at that point, I was literally, that's the carnal nature I was thinking of it. Like, hey, yeah, I'm just gonna get a doll and I'm gonna, make love to it sometimes. That was the only thing I was supposed to do. I turned out not to do that. I mean, still to this day, I'm still laughing at that. I turned out not to end up having sex with it, with my dog. I turned out to have more than one. I turned out, like I say, not to get the actual dolls that I thought I was going to get. A lot of this stuff has just turned out way different than I thought. And I'm just so happy and blessed and thank God, even with my mistakes, everything has worked out because I realized, like, damn, I learned a lot to help others. That's why this happened. I learned a lot about Kimber Doll, that product to tell people, okay, this is how you can begin. I learned about Saima being overweight and stuff, being honestly too big for me in some cases. So I can warn others, hey, watch your size. 98 pounds with a human woman, I can pick her over one finger. With my companion dogs, it's death. Don't do it. I've learned things to tell people. I still ended up with a silicone girl. I've learned how to take care of all these girls to help people and tell them how to take care of their girls. So man, it's been a hell of a journey, man. Like I say, If I could go all the way back and you know, and I was to say, hey, get this dollar, get that dollar, my dollar lineup will probably look different. You know what I'm saying? Every things about my life would look different. But I always got to practice what my friend Paul told me in the Bible. Forget those things which lie behind and reach forward to those things which lie ahead. If I did it, that's the way it was supposed to happen. So I ain't gonna go back. I love how it is now. Fizz in the house. He said, "What up, Dog King? What up, Fizz?" And Taya Barklow says, "I got the fair skin tone. Beautiful." She said the ears are attached, but I think I can still slide them through the mesh of the wig. Yeah. Hopefully it wouldn't be too hard to figure out. No. Well, as far as the ears, I knew they were attached. But what I was asking was, you know, you could actually, I think you could, like, you could have ordered that doll, I believe. And I believe you could have said, hey, give her human ears. That's what I mean. You could have asked for the human ears. I don't believe you had to get the elf ears. That's what I mean. But with all that said, I was wondering, did you get the elf ears? So I'm glad to know that you did get them, you know. And you won't have any problem putting a wig on around those ears. You don't have to worry about that. Oh, I love this. Brandon said, I want to get $8 at one point. I just got to make sure the house is in shape for the other three. I'm sort of thinking about that now. I got the doll room back there, but I'm like, man, at some point, that doll room just isn't right because I have a bed that's just too damn big back there. I wish I could downsize that bed to maybe a full size and get rid of that bed, honestly, or move it somewhere else. But I would have to do something to get, you know, to sort of make room for my other girls, you know, that's coming in the future. So I understand exactly what you mean about getting the house in shape. But I, you know, like I told you, I do love my cats and my pets. And I honestly, being a pet owner, I've said that in another show about being a pet owner, but being a pet owner, actually, it really goes very well with being a companion dog owner. It really does. But the only big drawback for me is just the dangers that your pet can pose to your dog. You know, your cats, what one day they can get a wild hair in their ass and what treat your dogs like a scratching post. You just never know. Or one day maybe your dog could get a hold of one of your dog's foot if he think it's a fake dog. You know, who knows what could happen. But I know me, um, I do think I'm going to continue to have a pet in some capacity, you know, no matter what happens in the future. I'm just saying, and I got my cats now, but I'm just saying in the future, even after they were to be gone, I would think I may still have a pet. But I do fantasize about those days of if I didn't have a pets in the house, like I said, I would probably have my girls propped up all around the house without fear of pet dander and hair floating everywhere, or my cats jumping on them and scratching them with their paws or something. You know, I had them set up in my room, but I would probably have them all around the house. I do think about that sometimes. Uh, Brandon Anderson says, yeah, it's cool to look back and see where God was in the whole plan. Yeah, most definitely, man. Because this, in my mind, I was just supposed to be a private doll owner. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in my mind, I was just supposed to have a doll, and um, I didn't even know if I was gonna really love. You know, I didn't know how it was gonna happen, but I know one thing: his plan, my plan, and his plan are definitely different. And like I say, today's show is a perfect name. It's time to rev up, get energized for today, not yesterday or tomorrow. We got to get energized, get life in your bones, get blood flowing, baby, get breath in your lungs. Believe that it's explosive blessing happening today. Because I'm just telling you from experience. You know, I understand. You know how it could be people out there sometimes be like, yeah, it's easy for you to say get revved up. I got to go to this job. I got to do that. And I'm telling you, man, it's easy to look at your circumstances and get down. I could do it today. You know, literally, if I wanted to be down today, I could find a reason to be. I could just think about, and I could just sort of point to you what it could be. I could just look to the uncertain future. And I could really focus on that and let that get me weird and you know about what's gonna happen. But I'm like, nah, man, I got to be happy about today. The day I got today, I'm living today. I'm blessed today to chase my dreams. You know what I'm saying? Be here with y'all. And, even your jobs, you can find joy out of the people that's there. You can, you know, even if it's something you're not doing, do it to your best. You're helping somebody. You're providing a service to somebody. And like you say, that job could just be a bridge to you getting to your ultimate destiny. So stay encouraged, stay happy, stay revved up this morning. Uh, Stay revved up, stay revved up. So Italia Barkley said the domino effect of life is crazy sometimes. I tell you it is. You never know what's happening. Even with my old relationships, when I was breaking up with these girls, and like I said, whether it be, I'm gonna be honest. When you break up with somebody, if that's a decision you made, yeah, I'm always cognizant. I don't never want to hurt people's feelings and stuff. But times I've broken up with people, those relationships, I'm just gonna say they don't hurt because guess what? You broke up with somebody, you decide to move on. But relationships that I know I wanted to keep, but they ended up breaking up. Those are hard to get past. But once you get past them and stuff, I know it's certain times in your life you can be like, man, I wish that had it worked out, or you wonder why it didn't work out and stuff. But boy, I promise you, finding the life that I found now, I just tell you, I've said it before, but I'm so happy those things didn't work out. I didn't know God's plan for my life. I was wanting to be in this relationship or that relationship. And although, like I told you, I still love just the whole thought of human vagina because I haven't had any in a while. But I still, love it and for what it is and all that. And like I said, I would still take some. I'm just saying this is, for me, my ultimate happiness, just being in this lifestyle. Having my toe dipped into this lifestyle. So I'm so thankful that things didn't work out in the past and I am where I am today. But I couldn't see that back then. And that's sort of how you are in whatever situation you are. You may be tempted to get discouraged, but you can't see how everything is coming together yet. And so, hey, you may as well stay happy. So, with all that said. Oh, yeah. I'm glad she brought this up. I might have to do a show about that. And it may not be a major show. It may just be a little quick show one day that I'm going to do. Because that's a good. I was thinking about this show the other day when somebody brought up he brought up them dollies and stuff, basically two-wheelers. I can write this down. And I might do that little show. So, but either way, what brand? I have no damn well idea what brand wheelchair this is. It's a cool little brand though. I think it's actually a good brand. Okay, now that ain't the brand though, is it? No, that ain't the brand. Oh, I almost knocked the mic into the thing. You know what? I don't actually know the. Put it like this: I was looking for wheelchairs one day, and I saw the brand that this is. Let me see. It's a decent brand, but believe me, it ain't new. I really personally one day, and I promise you, I just I've had to make decisions on what I could and couldn't get with the show. I just say that. And when I was upgrading the show, it was certain things that I really wanted, but I couldn't get. I was like, man, it's certain things I can't get. And one of the things I really wanted was a upgraded wheelchair. And I'm just telling you, if I had my choice, I would buy an off-road wheelchair. Now they are several hundred. Probably $400 or $500, whatever, in most cases. But that's my preferred choice because I know from experience what me and Callie and the girls do now when I go out. I know how rough the pavement is, and how they can jerk your girl back and forth. So I've honestly like looked at these heavy duty off-road type wheelchairs, and that's what I want in the future. But I just tell you, if you're a new dog owner, man, you can just get whatever type of wheelchair. Just try not to get one that's too flimsy. You know, now if you have a small car, you may want to get a smaller type wheelchair. But I tell you, the brands aren't quite as important unless they're just cheap as dirt. But let me tell you something. The wheelchair that they're sitting in right now, the Himawari is in right now, it's a great brand wheelchair. I'm gonna look it up and see if I can find it. But I got it out of a because my mom was telling me about it. I got it out of a thrift store. Because I was like, man, I had a wheelchair that she left me. My mom left me a wheelchair. And it's just a no-name wheelchair. I don't know. I don't even know where it came from. It's just a little no-name wheelchair, but it's okay. But she said that hey, if you're looking for another wheelchair, try a thrift store. Or I forgot what they call the what's the name of it? Salvation Army, right? She said, "Oh, check the Salvation Army." And so I said, "Really?" And she said, "Yeah, they be having wheelchairs." I'm like, "Man, what?" I said, I don't even believe that." She said, "Yeah, they do." I promise you, the first thrift store I walked in, I found this wheelchair. And I paid, honestly, they actually charged a lot at that thrift store. Honestly, it should have been about $20, but I paid $40 for it. I think it had like a couple of screws missing and something, one of the leg guards is missing like a little bit of a pole on it, missing a little bit of the pole, but hey, that's what you're going to get there. But it does the job, you know, and it's really my main wheelchair that I take out when we go out on adventures. And for people who don't know, I don't go out on adventures anymore because I don't have a car right now. But you can find one, you don't have to have a super expensive wheelchair. But me, I want a more expensive wheelchair for the things I want to do with my girl. But if you're just moving her around the house, you don't have to have the most expensive wheelchair. You can just get you a bargain wheelchair, man. I think most of them if you buy one, you're gonna end up spending like $100 and some dollars. If you buy one buy one new. But if you go to a thrift store, you'd be lucky if you can find one. You get one for cheaper. But you should be able to find a wheelchair from between $100 and $150 or somewhere like that. But I'm asking for all of you who are hearing this now, you may hear this in another video because I'm going to just do it for for people who don't always listen to the Power Hour. I'm gonna probably do a video just talking lightly about wheelchairs in the future. But let me look. You can go on Amazon literally. Now I'm not telling you to buy one on there, but I'm just saying you can go there and just look because that's where I was gonna get mine from. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. It was a med. That's what this is. It's a Medline wheelchair. That's what it is. I think that's what this is. Yeah. See, this is actually a name brand wheelchair, but it was just found in a thrift store. But it's a Medline, and they are like I said, you can get one from between $100 and something and $200, but I would look at my local thrift stores. I look at every one of them before I bought one new, because like I told you, when I buy one new, it's gonna be the exact one I want. Stingray in the house. Here, JDK. What up, Stingray? Uh, Brandon Anderson said he planned on getting an off-road wheelchair in the future. See, that's what I want to do. Italia Barker said off-road wheelchair sounds awesome. Oh yeah. I'm telling you, I looked at them and I'm like, man, because the thing about the wheelchair is, if you go look at some of my adventure videos, you may see it happen a few times. But man, it was a couple times when I was going out with my girls where, man, you'll be riding your girl around across the concrete, and the concrete will look perfectly fine. You know, it'll look perfectly. It happens mainly on asphalt, but it'll look perfectly fine. And man, before you know it, the smallest little bump will make it feel like your girl is finna jump out the chair. And it's been many a time I have had to catch my girls from jumping out the chair. You know, so it can be dangerous if you're out and about in a wheelchair. Like I told you, if you're just moving your girl around the house, which is a great way to move your girl around the house, that's what I do all the time. Then it's a great purchase for around the house. You don't even have to worry about what kind you get too much. But if you're talking about going outside and stuff, you're gonna want to invest in you're gonna want to invest in an off-road wheelchair. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want. Now, I'm gonna talk about this in the video too. But a guy had talked about getting a two-wheeler, and I actually bought a two-wheeler for my girls, but it was too small. So if you're ever going to get a two-wheeler, you want to get the big one. And the reason I wanted the two-wheeler was I was like, man, I can move my girls around the house while they're standing up. Because I seen a dog friend of mine doing that with his girl, and I thought it looked cool. But when I put my girls on my two-wheeler, it's like they didn't want to, it was too small. I just say that. It never worked right. So I don't know if the bigger one would work. I don't know if I could get it to work like my friend did. But I just know that I would choose the if I was buying two of them, because a two-wheeler is $100 and some, a dolly. If I was choosing between a dolly and a wheelchair, I'm always going to go with the wheelchair. Oh, a tight box said Living Basics brand looked okay. They seem pretty solid. Like I say, man, don't be overthinking it with these wheelchairs, man. My thing is, the only thing with the wheelchairs is, when I was doing a lot of research on them, now one or two of them I ran across where people were like, yeah, this broke on me as soon as I stretched it out. Now, of course, you're not going to want to settle for that. Always, especially if you go on Amazon, I religiously look at reviews. You know, I don't let that be my sole thing, but hey, if things don't have a certain, you know, I'm looking for stuff with a 4.5 rating or above, and then I get to reading what people say. So it's all on you how you want to do it, but don't overthink it when it comes to the wheelchair. Brandon Anderson said, I remember you saying about off-road wheelchairs in, I think, your video where you and Callie went to see Graceland. Right, like I said, man, I forgot, but I've talked about off-road wheelchairs before because I've researched it, and I'm like, man, I want one. But I know that it's been several times where Callie and damn near popped out that damn chair. Yeah, thrift store. Italian Barker said thrift store is a brilliant idea. I do thrifting a lot, but never thought of that. Yeah, all you got to do is go to the part of the thrift store that has furniture and stuff like that. Man, you'll see all type of stuff. Cause before I lost, or not lost, before they let me go to that or my norm or my everyday 9-to-5 job. When I had more, you know, when I had money to try to buy things, I remember right before I left that job, I went to a thrift store. And man, they had all type of little real wood furniture. I'm talking about, when I say real wood, I'm talking about it's made different than this new stuff. I'm talking about it's built to last. They had real wood furniture and stuff like that. Like desks and things of that nature. I was like, man, I want one of these. But I didn't have a truck to get it at the time. And then, hell, it wasn't long after that before I was being let go by that particular job. And it pushed me into my destiny, into what I'm doing now. So right now, like I say, I don't have the ability to go there and get things. But I know the thrift store is just, it's so many useful things you can find there. And Ty said the thrift store is brilliant. I do thrifting a lot, but never thought of that. Okay, so now, caught up with all the comments. And once again, rev up this morning. Get that blood going, baby. Time to live. It's time to be alive. We ain't got time to be playing, man. Hey, people dying every day. It's crazy. I was reading this little article on and I was like, man, I need to be resting. What am I doing reading this article? But I guess probably because I can talk about it now. But it was I don't know, a lot of you probably don't even know about this, but it was an old sitcom called Different Strokes a long time ago. And I remember the cast on this sitcom, and it was some, I think I had heard of this before, but I didn't remember it. But on this sitcom, it was two black kids, Arnold and Willis. They were basically adopted by a white guy and raised by him. And it was a hit sitcom back in the 80s. And man, it was this girl on there that was their sister, and cute little girl. And make a long story short, I was reading an article today about her committing suicide, and I'm like, what? I didn't know that she had. It seemed like I remember it vaguely, but I guess maybe I had forgot about it or something. But I got to reading about her story and stuff, and I was like, man, it was just a trip because basically her story was similar to the sitcom. She was actually, I didn't never know this, but the girl was adopted. And she was a beautiful Caucasian girl. She was adopted. Her name was I think it was Dana Plato or something like that. What was the name of that girl? What was her name? Oh my God. I don't see it. Oh, maybe it was on here. Let me see. What was her name? I would love to remember what her name was. Oh man, nah, they ain't on here no more. Hold on. I don't know. Maybe. Wait a minute. But I'm gonna get you telling the story. I want to start the show based on this because I need to get to my comments. But yeah, I don't think she on here. I think I went past it. I really wish it was still on here so I could remember her name though. I'm still looking though. It looked like it might be on here. Because that was a good story. But either way, the girl, she was she had been adopted herself. But make a long story short, a lot of people on that show had a lot of drug abuse and a lot of issues like that they end up going through, the actors on the show and stuff. And she was one of them. And supposedly, man, she had been in rehab and all type of stuff before, but she had went on a Howard Stern show way back in the day. And I didn't even know. I was like, man, that's crazy. She went on a Howard Stern show a long time ago. And I don't remember reading none of this stuff about the story, but she went on the Howard Stern show, and they say he joked about her life, and she ended up killing herself the next day. I'm like, dang, I didn't know that's how she died. A day after being on the Howard Stern show. What was that girl's name? Look, I'm curious now. I'll find out. It ain't gonna take but 2 seconds because all I gotta do is do. Matter of fact, I can look at it on here. It'll be better if I look at it on here. I still ain't got to my videos yet, but they ain't gonna take real long. We ain't got a lot of comments. Okay, Dana Plato. Plato. Uh, that was her name. That was her name. She played a part of Kimberly Drummond in that thing. Yeah. So yeah, Dana. Yeah, that was a trip story that, like you say, she killed herself the next day. But my whole point of that story was even though she's an older act, she was that happened a long time, that happened a long time ago. The whole point of that is a lot of times in life, man, we be looking to these actors and actresses and people who've made it and whatever, if I ever make it, it's crazy. Somebody could actually probably start doing that to me or whatever. But you look at these people like they have it made or something, but the truth is they're just like us. They're humans, man. They're they can have problems and that's her right. I'm gonna make her right here. This is her right here. That's Dana Plato. But they can have problems just like us, and I had read something to where it said when she died, she had $8,000 in her bank account. That's all that she had to her name. And I was just tripping off like how many just normal, regular working people probably have, much more than that in their bank accounts. But it's just crazy, man, how we're so conditioned as humans to where as soon as we see somebody on TV, on the screen, doing anything, we automatically almost think that, oh yeah, they're good. They've made it now. They're doing good. They ain't thinking about life like me. So, and I'm saying I'm putting me in that category because even me, I guess I was thinking like, after seeing somebody like on a sitcom for 5 or 6 years, you just sort of put it out of your mind. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, she made it. She doing good. And, you don't think about it anymore. But, years and stuff go past and you look back and realize like, damn, people don't have as much as you think that they did. That they're not making as much as you think that they did. They're not living a stress-free, easy life as much as you think they have. You got actors that have done movies and stuff that are still not doing good. And my whole point is she killed herself. She killed herself. And it's a sad thing. And my whole point is, hey, we got to live. Sometimes we always thinking, oh man, that rich person doing okay, or that person that got more than me doing okay. No, sometimes these people doing worse than you. Money don't save you from emotions and issues and things of that nature. So guess what? Look, be thankful for who you are today. Live today. Be alive. I used to tell my friend a lot of times when I used to work at that other job, I used to tell my friend, I'm like, man, I said, man, you know what? I may not love my job. I say, but I'm just lucky to be alive and just being able to do something today only because of this. I know so many like people that were filthy rich that are in jail now. Filthy rich that like went dead broke and they don't even have the money of a person on a normal job. And you just be thinking to yourself like, man, at one point you were like, man, I wish I could, make money like that actor. Or I could do something like that person. And you look up 10 years later or whatever, and I'm just throwing this number out there. You look up how many every years later working at your normal little job, and now you're making more than that actor that you were looking up to, just doing a normal job. Because, life can throw you some twists and turns. So like I say, man, be thankful today, be energetic today. Hell, you could be in a better position than people that you think are in better position than you. So I did enough bloviating about that, and it's been an hour into the show. So with all that said, we don't want to waste your whole day on the power hour. I ain't gonna say waste because I'm happy you all here. But what we are gonna do is keep this show moving. So the first video we're gonna talk about is Time to Take Off, a video that I hated to do. Once again, all these are mainly live streams. So that's another reason it's not a lot of comments on these videos, because a lot of them were live streaming. I was talking to you guys like I am right now. But on this live stream, it was a very unfortunate incident where a rapper named Takeoff got killed, and there's been several rappers killed over the last year or two. Just, man, it's just been a lot of senseless violence. People just so jealous and doing bad out here. And for whatever reason, they got in their mind that these rappers are literal gangsters or something like that. And so they're literally slaying them because of jealousy. They see that they are doing good, and it really frustrates a lot of people out here. So some guys got into an argument with Takeoff's brother, Takeoff's uncle. Man, what's the guy's name? Actually, the leader of the group, his name is slipping my mind for right now. Quavo. He got into an argument and some shooting ensued, and of course, an innocent bystander, which was Takeoff, got shot. Like I say, it's a group called the Amigos that they're in. Quavo, him, Takeoff, and a guy named Offset. They were in the Amigos. And out of the Amigos, Offset is known for dating Cardi B. And Quavo, he's the leader of the group. People know him as the leader of the group. And Takeoff, I've always seen him as just that member. He's just a member. He contributes, but he's always just been that quiet guy. You never even really hear from him. And so it was sad to see that he died, you know. I ain't gonna lie, even when I think about it, it's still sad. I just like, man, I just hate to see people who've made it doing their dream, man. I hate to see anybody die like that, but just get taken out early when you're living your dream, you're doing good, because I equate it to what I'm doing now, man. Like, I don't want to bring up anything going on in my surroundings. I just say this. It would be so fulfilling to me to be able to take care of myself doing what I love to do, you know? And to see him and other people who have literally made it doing something they love to do, and then somebody take them out before they even really get a chance to, enjoy good. It's like, damn, man, this man isn't getting a chance to enjoy good. And, somebody gets jealous enough to kill him because they dehumanize them and just see them as, they don't see them even as human anymore. It's easy to kill celebrities and stuff like that because you stop seeing them as human. You see them as somebody that's just doing better than you. Oh, you just doing you got money. You can't relate to me, man. These people, nah, man, you don't see these people's journeys and stuff. So that was really sad for him to lose his life like that. And I was motivated to do that show and talk about him. Definitely hated to hear that. And he's just one of several. And like I say, my favorite rapper got killed coming up around this time last year, my guy Dolph. So he was actually getting stuff prepared to give out on Thanksgiving and got killed like a day or two before he was supposed to go. So, man, it's a crazy world. And that's why I say, rev up. Be happy we're alive today. Look, you may be doing less than you expected, but guess what? You're alive today. You able to be here and do less than you expected. I tell you that. So let me catch you. Let me see what we are. On that video, I just had a couple of comments. One, my guy, the dopest, says, RIP Takeoff, and man, most definitely rest in heaven to Takeoff. That really hurt my heart. Dead S, my guy, Dog King Army team member, says, sad about Takeoff. He said, worst part about that story was people stealing jewelry off his body. I didn't really read that about people stealing jewelry off his body, because I thought I saw, his family there with him. I seen a little bit of the video. Now, I know they stole stuff off PNB Rock's body. They stole his chain. Now, people were stealing jewelry off his body. I mean, I know that can happen in a melee. But, right, that is super sad if they did that. Super sad. People are just reduced to their worst, man, at certain times, man. And I just I couldn't even see having that in my conscience to be ripping jewelry off of a man's freshly dead body, while he dying, basically. That's just, I can't see how, I'm not going to judge the people that did it, but I can't see doing something like that. He said, that's shame. He said, thanks for the stream, brother. Thank you for checking it out, DAS. Thank you. I said, man, I hate the people that I said, I hate that people can be that cruel, my friend. I really do. So those were the only comments I had on that video. I definitely hate that people can be that cruel for sure. Let's see. Man, this comment wasn't even on my video. I had made a comment on I answered a lot of comments on a video a long time ago that Cinnamon Toast Ken and PewDiePie did on me. I answered a lot of viewers' comments, just mess with a lot of people. Not even, I mean, I was just actually having fun and responding to a lot of people. And so sometimes I still get responses back on my notifications. And I got a response recently, and I normally don't read anything that got anything negative about me. I usually don't read it back or anything, but with this particular video, excuse me, guys, sorry, I'm on my mic again. But with this particular video, I said, man, I had to read this comment. So this guy responded on this video called "Man Dates Dogs Because Real Women Are Mean." That was a video that Cinnamon Toast Ken and PewDiePie did talking about me. So the guy wrote this about me. He said, just be real and fair. He said, they are both saved. He said, talking about me, he said, the man got saved from those high maintenance women that can be devalued over time. And I'm rewording it because he wrote it sort of brokenly. But he said, the women got saved from this bad looking, financially poor weirdo. So honestly, I don't really read negative comments back and stuff like that. I'm laughing because I don't accept any of that type of crap, any negative things spoken over me. But I did tell you guys, don't ever get into like reading a lot of negative stuff about yourself, because even I'm laughing about it because I know what God says about me, but I'm not gonna read a whole bunch of that type of negative stuff because that stuff can get into your spirit. But I'm laughing at it right now. But he does go on to say some other things that I want to read. He said the only difference are the cost replacements for both genders. He said, because he actually went on to say some decent stuff, whether he knows it or not. He said, it's easier to replace women with a doll than a man. And I actually did a show on that when I said I did a show called Companion Dolls for Women. I explained in that show, and I've explained other times that I actually agree with him. It's a companion doll, a female can meet a man's needs easier than a companion doll for a woman. I've said that because I say a woman just needs more things, man. She needs, a woman has, women complain historically about how they don't just want a man around the house. They want a man to talk to. They want a man to go out and get the groceries. They want a man to be able to cut the yard. You know what I'm saying? They want a man to be able to do some stuff. And a companion dog can't do that. Now, like I told you, it's a futuristic woman out there that is doing so much stuff for herself that she can be cool with the companion dog. But I'm just saying the average woman with all the things, oh, you got to talk to me. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to say this. You need to say that. You need to pick this up. You need to clean this up. You need to do that. Hey, it's like a woman say, I just need a man around the house to do this, to be able to do that. Companion dog can't do that. So I ain't saying that a woman can't straddle a companion doll and have some sex every now and then, but that's not going to fulfill a woman like a man. Like a man, we don't require all of that. We need a pretty face and somebody to hug sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We don't need we don't need you to talk to us all the time. That's not that's nothing we think about all the time. Yeah, the conversation is good, and some men are big talkers, but I think the consensus is most men don't really need a whole bunch of excessive talking. We're more physical. We need something to hold every now and then, and that's it. We don't need you to get our groceries. We don't need you to cut our yard. I don't cut my own yard, but guess what? I ain't finna date a woman so she can cut the yard. So it's just a lot of different social requirements when it comes to men and women. So I actually agree with him. It's easier to, I've done a show about it. It's easier to go, for a man to be with a dog than a woman. Not to mention the weight. The average woman could be like 5'1" or so, 5'2", 5'3". I think the actual average height for a woman is like around 5'4", but man, these dolls, like I told you, they could be heavy for me. So with the average woman, these dolls are heavy, especially a male doll. So he was right. He went on to say, he said, women need a soul connection with her partner in order to feel. He didn't really quite say it right, but it was basically what I said. He said, which a dildo or male doll won't give them. That's basically what I was saying. Women, like I tell you, I have a soulful connection with my girls, but women need the doll to give them things more than I need. I don't need like I told you, I don't need the talking. I don't need my dogs to do anything for me other than just literally be in the house. I need them to sit next to me while I'm watching my games, and I hug them every now and then. If I was even having sex with them every now and then, that'd be, hey, we do that, and look, I'd be satisfied. That's not necessarily going to satisfy the human woman. Like I told you, if that's the case, they can deal with just a human man laying up on their living room, boning them all the time, and them never doing anything. But that's not the case. Some women are cool with that, but you got a lot of women that complain about just having a dude in the house. I don't need no man up in my house just to be just for sex. I can do that myself. That's what they say. So, like I say, it's not going to satisfy a lot of women just to complain, though. Not at this stage in humanity. He said, in the meantime, a man just needs a good-looking partner or a decent soul connection. And like I say, he didn't really word it right, but he's right. Like, it's basically like I say, I just need somebody beautiful in this house that I can hug on to. And guess what? The soul connection is building it up over time. I don't need anything super duper deep. I'm good. So he says a dog can satisfy a man 80% desire and only satisfy a woman by not more than 50%. So he made me laugh because he started out sort of talking about me a little bit, said something negative about me, but he actually said a lot of good things. But what I would say is, I would take the dog can satisfy a man more than 80%, depending on if you're good with this lifestyle. I can go up to 90 or 95%, because I think it's always going to be that percentage that's still going to want to interact with that human woman at some point. Like me, I'm happy with my dogs and stuff, but I just think it's still just that percentage of me that still, like you say, fiends for that smell of the human vagina. You know what I'm saying? Even just a reciprocal contact, it is still something in me that, hey, I wouldn't mind somebody touching me back, that type of thing. Even though I'm completely happy, I'm not finna lie and act like it's not any percentages in your body that's gonna still want for some type of human contact. Yeah, you still gonna have a little bit, but it's nothing that's ruining my happiness with the dogs. And it's nothing that's making me actually go out there and try to hunt for women, hunt for relationships. I haven't gotten to that point yet. But I'm just saying, it is a small percentage that's going to exist because you're human. But so I would take his 80% satisfaction rate up. I'm thinking that most people could at least get to 90. And for me, I think I'm upwards of 95% and higher. And women, I would take them up to, I think it's some women that can go up to as high, I think he's probably speaking of averages. So yeah, average, he may be right with women, maybe about 50% satisfaction. But I think it is some women out there, the futuristic woman, that can get up to about 70%. So I want to bring, he had a great little comment. I want to bring that up. So that was all on that. Next video I have is Doll Rich. That's a song I made a while back. And if you haven't listened to my songs, you can definitely go listen to my Dog King soundtrack. It's songs I made from the beginning, and I've been stalling with this latest song. I've had it made for a while, but just have not produced it. I've been like, man, I just haven't had the feeling in my gut to finish producing it, but hopefully I'll get that done soon, because I do want to get that done before the year, because I got another song after that I'm really hyped up about. But Tribal Chief says on Campaign Dog's Dog Rich, he says, Callie's son inspired you to make a lot of music. She's a special dog. Great track, Jay. I just hit the like and hit the love button on that, but I appreciate him for saying that. And he's right. Callie has motivated me, and the girls have motivated me to do a lot of music, and it's still going strong. I just haven't produced this latest song, but the songs are definitely in my heart. And I'm just glad for anybody that goes back and still listens to the soundtrack. I can't lie, to a few songs on there where I was like, ooh, I was a little rough around the edges, but I think I'm getting better and better at the old rapping thing. So something I've always liked to do. So good to hear any feedback on it. My guy Big Daddy says on my video Your Dog, I did a vendor review on one of my affiliates. I did a Your Dog vendor review. And Big Daddy, he just commented on that video because he heard the opening to that, and he was like, I love that rap. So a lot of people love Outer Space. That's why I keep it on my intro. I really love it as well. It probably is my favorite song. It probably is my favorite song. Next video, I have a comment on my video, Out and About. And once again, that comes from a time of when I was I had a car and I was able to take my girls out on adventures. And some of you may be like, oh, Jay don't go out on adventures no more. No, it's not that Jay don't go out on adventures. I just don't own a car right now. My only vehicle is my bike, which I love my bike. And honestly, I love it so much to where if it wasn't for my girls, I probably wouldn't. I couldn't even see owning the car anytime soon. I love my bike. You know, it can damn near get me anywhere I want to go. Pretty much get me anywhere I want to go. Slower in some cases and faster in some cases. But it doesn't have the capacity to travel with things or take my dogs on dates. So from that standpoint, I do want a car again so I can go out and take my dogs on dates and go out into the public. But I'm telling you, if I didn't have my dogs in my life, I probably would never buy a car again because I love riding my bike. I would just upgrade my bike and get a super duper bike. You know what I'm saying? That's all I would do. But I just want to let you guys know it's not that I've abandoned going out and about. I don't have the means to go out and about anymore. But Mike Barrett commented on my video, and he says, got to watch how much exposure that TPE or silicone gets to the elements outside. UV rays, sun over time can damage. I've talked about this before as well. You don't want to have your dog out in the sun too much. I've always said silicone can actually absorb heat and get hot. It can deal with the sun's effects or something like that better than TPE, but you don't want either one of them exposed to the sun for too long of a time. I wouldn't want to take a chance with either one of them. So Mike Barrett is exactly right on that. Let me check, see. Okay. I see a couple of comments. I'm going to just jump in real quick. Fizz says Dana Plato was her name, so he knew as well. Italia Barkley says comments like that are vapid. I try to laugh that stuff off. I don't know what vapid means. Brandon Anderson says, yeah, got to bounce out for work. Take care, gang. See you, Brandon. Have a great day. But yeah, hey, yeah, I laughed it off too. I mean, my thing is I don't even think about it as much. Italia, people gonna have their opinions. You gotta allow them to have their opinions. You ain't gotta listen to it. You ain't gotta stand, let them insult you in your face. But what I'm saying is, you ain't gotta worry about trying to change people's opinions of you. They gonna say what they say. You gotta keep rolling. I ain't gonna look. I know I'm not gonna worry about it. Oh, here go my video. I'm reading out my comments on suits on human women look terrible. Man, I found out something about this that had me laughing. That I was talking to my brother about. But suits on human women look terrible is because I'm just so sick of seeing these human women out here constantly wearing these men type suits more and more. It used to be women type suits, where they'd have the skirt and the suit top. And I think that can actually look pretty sexy. Then you actually have these women's suits where people have made them where they're really tight to the body, where they look like a woman still, but I still don't love those. The pantsuits, I still don't love them, even though they can be sleek and tight to the woman's body. But what has become popular is women wearing actually men suits where it's loose fitting. And I'm just like, man, women are trying to stuff that stuff down human men's throats. And I'm letting you know that stuff is ugly, it's unattractive. And I'm sorry, you can do whatever you want, say whatever you want. Nobody's liking that from a man's standpoint, and I hate it. I said the only way that's acceptable is if you're going for that look. If you're a lesbian woman and you're trying to look more masculine, that's fine. Guess what? Wear your suit and look. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that a woman that has an alternative lifestyle shouldn't wear suits. No, wear whatever you want. I'm talking about these women, human women that are trying to attract men. When you put on these oversized suits, but then you want to say you should like me anyway because this world is all even. I should be able to wear a suit and look good. Well, no, hell no, your ass don't look good. Sorry, y'all. I'll never like being nasty. I promise I don't, because I'll never like tearing nobody down. But when it comes to these human women that are trying to attract men wearing these suits, I just got to be definitely honest with them. It looks bad. I've seen too many women on TV that are, heterosexual women with these oversized suits on, but they act like they're going to try to force it down our throats. Like, this make me feel even. Well, guess what? You can feel even all you want, but you ain't going to be attractive with that crap on. And I really came down on Candace Parker because I was like, man, she has been looking a complete mess in all these suits that she's been wearing. And I'm like, I don't know why she thinks that this is attractive. It looks horrible. No offense, she's a cute face, but it just doesn't become her body when she wears these suits, thin or loose fitting. But I was talking about, but I had made the caveat in my video that I was like, hey, if you're living an alternative lifestyle, you don't count. But I guess I must have been in a hole somewhere. But the last I checked, Candace Parker was in a heterosexual relationship. She had kids and stuff of that nature. And so I was thinking, like, she's not finna attract men wearing these suits. I don't know what she's doing. Why? And I was even thinking about her husband. I'm like, man, why is he cool with this? I'm like, man, he must not love her anymore, because I'd be telling her, hey, baby, you don't look good in this. I said as nice as possible. But my brother was telling me that she doesn't date men anymore, that she dates women, and that she's the man in a relationship. So in that regard, I owe Candace, and now I don't want to say I owe her an apology, but I do have to sort of recant what I said, because she actually fits into the demographic that I was speaking of. I said, if you like, if you're going for the lesbian look, if you're going for a more masculine look, hey, you're good. So she's going for the more masculine look. I have no problem with her. I thought she was really still trying to attract me because she's such a cute lady. I thought she was still trying to attract me, men and stuff, So since she's not, guess what? I give her a pass. Guess what? You're not trying to attract me. So you can look however you want to look. But to the women out there that are still trying to attract men, if you want to put these big floppy suits on, I'm letting you know, don't be surprised when you don't get a tap on the shoulder. So that's what that video was about. And the comments I had on that video are, I don't think it was a whole bunch. Okay, Kevin Gray, Dog King Army team member, says, Candace looked like a damn clown in that terrible fitting suit the other night. I can't believe she went out like that. I said, I'm so glad somebody else saw that crap. But once again, she she's not looking to attract men. So hey, it can look as bad as she wanted to look. That's not what she's trying to do. I talked about in that video, I was sort of comparing women's suits to the WNBA. I was like, man, the WNBA suits uniforms are bigger than NBA uniforms. And I said that suit Candace Parker had on and other suits I've seen women wear, they're bigger than men's suits, because she was standing next to a man whose suit was smaller than her suit. So when he said that, a guy Ye says, I watch long distance female. I said, there's nothing wrong with being sexy doing your sport. I said, hell, women can't do all the physical things that men can do. So part of the reason that we do like to look at women's sport is we like to see you playing sports, but guess what? We like to see your fine, sexy self as well. So we can be like, okay, yeah, maybe you can't dunk on nobody, but damn, at least she's sexy running up and down the court doing her layups. But either way, Ye says, I watch long distance female running partially because they look good. Female tennis too. I just smiled and gave him the thumbs up, but he understands exactly what I say. I like female sports, but don't get me wrong. A lot of it got to do with them booties that I'm seeing too. I want to see some booties because y'all, you can't do everything. So guess what? It ain't nothing wrong with seeing a little sexy booty out there running around. So that was all the comments I had on that video. Like I say, as far as my comments, this is a short week. Because I ain't got but a few more. I did a video about the best doll for you, whether it should be silicone or TPE. And my guy DAS commented on that, and he said, and in this video, I was just using my experience saying, hey, which doll I think would be best for you, silicone or TPE. I said, if you're just heavy on the sex, that's all you want to do, you're gonna want to gravitate towards TPE. I say, if you want to have a little bit of sex, but you're more towards companion, geared towards that, I said, you're gonna want to go silicone. I said, but honestly, if you're looking for my advice, I think ultimately it would be good for everybody to have one of each. Ultimately, it would be good for everybody to have one of each. Because, man, if you're heavy, if you want to have more sex, even though I haven't had sex with my girls, I just know this to be true. If you're going to have sex, it's going to probably be a more overall enjoyable experience with the TPE girl. You can have sex with your silicone doll, but they just have hard spots. I just say that. So but I did say some silicone girls are made for sex and they're getting close to the overall feeling of TPE. You have to find out which brands and things of that nature they are. But I say my best case scenario is for you to get both at some point in time. But DAS says, I'm glad you made this as a topic. He said, if I could start over, I would have gotten one of each. But my collection would be totally different now. There would be just one TPE and the rest silicone. He said, and you know what? I still think I would have more than one TPE girl. You know what? I think I may have one too many. I ain't gonna say one too many, but like if I had to go back and do it, I think I would still have about 3 TPE girls, and I would probably stop there. So he says, he would just have one TPE. I understand why he says that though. He said, I'm just a display and companion guide hard. He said, I learned that too late though. No regrets though. I still love my TPE girls. He sound like me with that. Because, I'm more of a companion guy. I'm not even a sexual guy, but, so I don't need TPE girls, so to speak. So I understand what he means. I don't know, man. Maybe if I had, knowing who I am now, I would at least, I could probably see myself being like him. I would at least want one TPE girl. I'm sorry, at least one. But then I could see myself having soft face silicone girls after that. But either way. He said, I'm just a display and companion guy hard. I learned that too late. No regrets, though. I still love my TPE girls. But when I downsize, they are going to be the first to go, tragically. I don't know why he made me laugh when he said they're going to be the first to go. He said, I'm never selling any of my silicone girls, though. Oh, no. He said, P.S., that's why we need you, brother. Educate future generation of doll owners so they learn from our mistakes. Hell, JDKH. And that's one of the great things about this channel, like I say. I know everybody may not look at every video I've ever made, but I'm proud of having my older videos as well, showing the very beginnings, things that I was saying at the very beginning for people who are learning. They may go back and see those videos, and I just want to be able to, like I say, help them. He said, and of course, learn from my mistakes. He said, P.S., he said, I'm glad I can use my special emoji cons again. He said, like, comment, and subscribe to my boy Jay. So, hey, do exactly what he says. Like, comment, and subscribe. I like that. Appreciate you, DAS. I said, I love everything you said, which I did. I said, I think I would only have 2 TPE and the rest silicone. So I'm thinking about 2, maybe 3. I said, definitely have to have a TPE girl in the house for sure. I don't know. It's something about a TPE girl, man. You just got to have, I mean, I ain't saying you got to have one, but I did a video saying how it's hard to go from silicone back to TPE. So if you get ordered a silicone girl first, like my girl Latoya Barclay, then you might not end up with a TPE girl because it is harder to go backwards. But I think the best advice would be for you to have a TPE and a silicone. Just one of each, just so you can just feel the difference. But if you started off with silicone, it's gonna be hard for you to go back. I said, thank you for the support, my friend. I love the emojis are back in effect. And you can get these special emojis when you become a Dog King Army team member. So remember that. That's one of the perks you get. Next video. I'm almost done. Got a few more videos. I got my Reset Sunday, which was called Break the Stronghold. And I think this is like my first or second subscriber. He responded. But Break the Stronghold was, I was like, man, people can say negative stuff over your life. It can get you bogged down. You can get to believe in that crap. And I said, don't believe it. Don't listen to it. Break that stronghold that it's having over your life. Don't listen to it. Believe what God said about you. Sometimes it's hard to focus on what God says because you don't see him in your physical world. But believe me, he's there in your heart, mind, body, and spirit. What he says is the most important, not what people say about you. And me and Ataya was just talking about that. But Dark Chaos bring, I think, my first or second subscriber. He said, I'm not a religious man, but it's always good to see you in good spirits. And I love to hear from this guy. I said, good to hear from you. God bless you, my friend, because I don't hear from him very often at all. Sometimes I was even wondering, was he still a subscriber? Because he was literally like my first or second subscriber. And to just have him still hanging around every now and then, I tell him, it makes me feel good just to know that, hey, he's still around. Kevin Havens, he says, Philippians 4:13, brother. God bless you and yours. I gave him the pound sign, the prayer sign, the thumbs up. I don't even know what Philippians 4:13 is off the bat. So let's go. I'm gonna see what the hell that is. I've never claimed to know Bible verses off the top of my head. What did he say? Okay. That's a great verse. I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me. So that's a great verse. Great verse. It's one I definitely remember, but I didn't know about off the bat. So great. I'm still reading. Look, I got thrown off a second. I had to see what that verse said. And my last comment was from my guy Jamie. He says, wise words. I gave him the prayer sign and the thumbs up. Appreciate you, Jamie. Appreciate all of y'all that commented on that video. I told you it's one of my most controversial days of the week where I give good messages, but some people don't want the good message. They sort of get upset by the whole, me even mentioning God. If I do mention them on a Reset Sunday, some of them leave and stuff. And I always say, I love everybody and I want all my subscribers to be here. I don't ever want to alienate you. Like I say, Reset Sunday is just to get you encouraged for the new week. But I always say, man, if people leave me just because I even mention God's name, I love you and appreciate you, but I'm going to have to let you leave. But I ain't finna stop. Nope. Because, I always tell people, even though I'm working hard towards my dream every day, it ain't my power, it ain't my breath, it ain't my body, it ain't my ability. But you thinking of the shows, God gave me the mind. But you being creative, God gave me the creativity. But you using the energy, God gave me the energy. But you the one who living, God gave me the body to live. He gave me the spirit. So I won't be doing nothing without him, and nothing that I would ever achieve is without him. I always tell him that, I ain't. It's nothing. I'm not gonna achieve nothing without him. So it may chase some people away, but guess what? I love you, but you're gonna have to be chased away because you ain't gonna stop me from talking about the goodness of what God does for me. Sorry, I love you though. The next, I did a movie review on Don't Worry, Darling. And I did this review because I was just looking at this movie because it was one of these corny looking movies where I was like, man, I don't even know if this is going to be good, but people was acting like it was going to be acclaimed and stuff. And I just took a look at it and found out it was a ripoff of The Stepford Wives. I was like, dang, this is actually relevant to my channel. So if you don't know about The Stepford Wives, it's basically a movie where guys sort of basically traded out their human wives for basically AI robots and was living in this perfect type community and all that type of stuff. Well, that's exactly what Don't Worry, Darling ended up being. It was a ripoff of Stepford Wives where these guys had their wives in this seemingly perfect community, but they were controlling their wives. They weren't AI dolls, but they were controlling their wives through a virtual reality headset, basically, to make them believe they were living a perfect life. So it was relative to the show because I was like, dang, they actually really stole this from Stepford Wives. And in the reviews that I did read, after I made the show, after I was making the show and stuff, they actually said the same thing. They was like, man, it looks like they were stealing from Stepford Wives. But, and so that's why I thought it was relevant. I said, man, let me bring this up. I gave it like a 2, but I said, if you give it anything more than a 4, we just don't agree on films. But it was basically, like I said, about a guy, these husbands, like you say, basically imprisoning their wives in a virtual reality to make them think they were living a perfect life. Withering Liberal says they filmed this in Palm Springs near a house I have. He said, if it weren't for the Milieu, I would have been dead bored. I don't even know what. I said, you know what? I'm going to have to look that up because I don't know what the hell he is even talking about when he says a Milieu. I don't know what that is. The hell is that? I see. Okay, it is something. It's called. Oh, okay, I never knew what a Milieu was. I don't know. The Milieu didn't do nothing for me though, because he said if it weren't for the Milieu, and that's spelled Milieu, he said I would have been dead bored. And according to the definition of Milieu, I always pronounce milieu. Okay, milieu. According to the definition of milieu, it's called a person's social environment. So he's saying basically, if it weren't for the social environment, I would have been dead bored. I don't know what he means. Is he saying the social environment in a movie? Because the social environment in the movie, it didn't have me hyped up in any way. So I really didn't understand what he meant by that. My guy Ye says it seems like a man-hating movie. I actually commented on it and I don't even see it. But I just say this. I wouldn't say it's a man-hating movie, but it has those feministic overtones to where they want to try to make anybody in a dog game or, living this alternative type of fantasy lifestyle. They want to try to make it seem like, once again, you want to enslave women and that's all you want to do and stuff. It's just, so it does play into that. And if you're a man, you're not going to like that. But then the birth of Ubermensch says it was my idea before it even came out, except it wouldn't be with Western women. I don't know what he means by that. I guess he's saying it. He liked the idea of locking the women in the virtual reality, but it wouldn't be with Western women. I don't really know what he means. I really don't. But I don't know what he means. He likes the idea of the movie or not. So that was all the comments I had. I have no idea what you mean on that one. And my last video that I did recently was moms are second to none, especially in the dog game. And this video was literally about man, I was just like, when I was dating human women, it's always this underlying pressure where human women sort of try to separate you from your mother and things of that nature. And like I love my human women viewers, so just to relate to them, it's guys that try to separate human women from their parents and things of that nature. And both are done for control issues. Women, they try to get you to do, be the person exactly that they want you to be. They're trying to change you, so they get you away from your mother. Or men, they try to control their wives, and they don't want dad to be nowhere around. I know I've even known them guys moving their girls out of the city, running away from family. And that can be a very dangerous thing. I've known the women actually getting killed after they've been moved away from their families. But that's what that video was about. It was about these people in these relationships trying to get you away from your mother and stuff. I'm like, nah, you done lost your mind. That's why I love the dog game, because companion dogs don't never put pressure on me to try to leave my mom or family, brother, mother, whoever alone. Uh, you know, and women, they don't just come out and say, leave your mama alone. They do it in subtle ways. A lot of times where they just try to keep you away from your mother, or either they'll start arguments with you and say, hey, I don't want your mother involved in our decisions, which I'm not saying a mom should be involved in your marital decisions as far as your household, but they cannot even be involved in your marital decisions. But sometimes a wife may try to say that to start stuff. So I said all that to say, that's one of the things I didn't like about these deeper relationships or getting married, where women are trying to pull you away from your mother or something. You're a mama's boy. You still love your mama. You damn right. Because I said in the video, hey, a wife can divorce you, and a woman can break up with you. Your mama ain't divorcing being your mama. She gonna be there. And I done went with a lot of girls where I was head over heels in love with, and was thinking it was gonna last forever and all. And when I broke up with them girls, it's mighty funny. My mama was always there, but they weren't no more. So I'm like, nah, I ain't coming down on human women. I know it happens to you too from a man's standpoint. But let me tell you something. One good thing about the dog life is they ain't never putting pressure on you to leave your family alone, especially your mamas. Kevin Gray says, my guy, keep up the good work. Dog King Hefner, 100. I gave him the love sign, fist, thumbs up. Thank you, bro. And Sheila Bell says, the one and only authentic Dog King. Gave me the thumbs up. I gave her the thumbs up, showed her love. I appreciate both my Dog King Army team members coming in with the comments. But with all that said, we're done with the videos. And now we're going to catch up with the comments in the live chat. Man, thank you guys for all the comments, and even doing these live streams, man. I know I do a lot of talking, and sometimes I talk back and forth to a lot of you, so some of you may not come in on the videos, but I do thank you for going back, the people who do, and put your comments down. It provokes thought. It allows me to expand and think about what happened on the previous week, so I appreciate you. Let me see. Ataya Barker says, the realism is too much for me to go to TPE sadly. No, don't be sad. Don't be sad at all. Because like I say, man, it's hard to go backwards, from silicone, because her first daughter is going to be a silicone doll. If I had about Himawari first, it would have been very hard for me to go backwards to get a TPE. That's why I say, nobody actually commented on that video. I thought I was going to get a chance to talk about it, but I did a video actually this week where it was like, it's easy to go from TPE to silicone, because silicone, just like she says, a TPE doesn't have all the detail and stuff. It doesn't, and TPE is harder to keep clean and stuff. Silicone is very easy to keep clean and upkeep, and keep it upkept. You don't have to worry about heat or cold as much, and all of those factors. So it's hard to go from silicone to TPE. It's easy to go from TPE to silicone. So by her starting out with a silicone girl, I honestly, if you're starting out with a silicone girl, I don't expect you to go backwards. So I'm not really speaking to you, so to speak, but I'm speaking to you only from this standpoint. I do think that every dog owner would get something out of having both, only because it is something to be said for having that soft TPE girl that you can squeeze. And a lot of them do look pretty, because I love my girls, but I'm telling you, it is other girls out there, TPE girls, that really look a lot more real, closer to silicone. So you would still have to do more work and stuff. So I know if I started out in the silicone game like Ataya, if I ever went TPE, it would be like DAS says, it would only be one. But see, I started out with TPE, so it's a bit different for me. So if you're starting out in silicone, you may not ever go back, because once you get a silicone girl, you may just get used to the way she's feeling and stuff, And even though the TPE girls are softer, hell, if you never have one, you'll never know. So you'll be happy with your silicone girl. So I think you'll be doing just fine by staying with your silicone girl. Atalia Barker says, I got to head to bed. I need to wake up to work soon. Night, thanks for the pointers. Man, glad to have you, Talia, and I'm going to let all of y'all go get some rest or go to work or do whatever you're doing. Like I said, hey, the show coming early in the morning, and that's fine. Things change, body clocks change, so hell, it may end up being at 6 or 7 o'clock. I'm going to look up here the next week or two. But Three Face says, hey, hail to the king, baby. What up, Three Face? Kevin Gray says, let's go, King. Health. Hey to all the girls. I see Hema Ware. Butchered that spelling. That's all good. You still got the spelling right. I mean, you still got the name right, though. Still got the whole the sound of it right. But we finally made it to the end. And good to see you, Kevin, Dog King Armor team member. But we finally got to the end of all our comments, both on all my videos as well as the live stream. And like I say, haven't gotten a donation in a while, but guess what? I understand, man. I understand. But if you ever do want to donate, you can donate on a live stream via super chat, super sticker. On individual videos, we got something called Super Thanks. You can donate on an individual video. You can donate to the show as well as I have a link called Biking for Companion Dogs. I did a biking trip to try to raise money for the channel. I only got a few $100s out of the $10,000 I was trying to raise. But if you ever want to go donate to that link is always in all the descriptions of my videos. And those are ways you can help the show. You can also donate Cash App or PayPal on the About section of my YouTube. So you can donate that way as well. And all those things that help keep me going. Help keep the show alive and well, baby. But I definitely want to keep you guys and remind you guys to stay revved up today. Get that blood boiling. Live. Be happy. Be positive, not negative. God bless you over everything you're hoping for, wishing for this morning, no matter what it is, relationship, finances, family, job, whatever it is. We're praying you got it. We just want you to believe that and receive it. But with all that said, it's been a fun time. Hope you guys are powered up and revved up for another day. It's been a good one. It's been me, J. King Hefner, and the beautiful Himaware. But as of right now, we're going to let you enjoy your day. Hey, made it right to the 2-hour mark, 1:53. Good timing, baby. Good power hour. So love you. Appreciate all of your support. And guess what? We're going to keep going till we can't go no more. And I'm hoping that day don't come no time soon. But with all that said, we finna get up out of chill. Out of chill. Out of chill. We finna get up out of chill. Out of chill. Out of chill. Yeah, rev up them engines, man. Get this day started. Have a good one. God bless. We love you, man. Take care.